Okay, your select item event isn't tracking. Now let's talk about this for a second. The select item event and the view item event are meant to be, you're looking at a list of products like on a category page or on a recommended section of similar recommended products, or you might also like products. That's the view item list event, is the seeing those items, the impression. The click is the selection of that item. So these don't make sense to do one without the other. You need them together in order for them to be useful. Now, a lot of people think, well, because Google Analytics says that we can track them, we should. That's not necessarily true. Think about what you can do with this information. If you know the view to select rate, and some of those items vary one from another, what do you do with that? Well, it's usually a function of changing the items that are in lists or changing the order of items that are in lists, taking item that's in position 10 and moving it up to position 1 or 2 if it has an irregularly high click-through rate. If you don't have thousands of SKUs and at least 3 or 4 different list placements on your site, then you're not going to get enough knowledge out of putting this tracking in place to merit the time that it takes to get the tracking in place and tracked accurately. I always say that if you're trying to find a needle in a haystack in analytics, an insight, something that you can use to improve performance, it doesn't get easier by making the haystack bigger. Only track the data that you can probably use to actually make informed decisions. So if you need help getting this click tracking in place, the most common way that this fails is when you click the button of an item in a list, it starts the load of another page and taking you to the detail page. That starts a race condition, especially in a non-single page app type of website, in a normal website load. And the race is between Google Analytics and Tag Manager capturing and processing that event and the subsequent page loading and replacing the existing page in the browser and blowing up the processes that are in place. So sometimes you'll see intermittent stuff like where this works sometimes and doesn't work sometimes. And that's because of the processing sequence of the event. So if you need help as working with your engineering team to make sure that this is tracking appropriately, or you need to help getting it in place in the first place, give us a call. We've seen almost every possible way this stuff can get implemented wrong and fail, and we'll help troubleshoot it and get you all pushed off in the right direction quickly. If you don't need this, then don't put this in place. So don't waste the time unless you can actually use the data.